there's that head frame right there. We're going to continue down. Cool room to tank right there. We are going to continue down the Adit this way. So I've got an air door bulkhead right there. Now I've been told that this one on the left just keeps going and going and going, and then it just stops at a big dirt pile, and that's it. So we'll go to the right. Speaking of the right, you can see a raise running up to the right there. Shine the light down. This one on the left. Yeah, that just goes and goes and goes and goes. And apparently there's no features and just ends in a dirt pile. So I'll take their word for it. They're kind of in a hurry. See the quartz vein right there. Bunch of woodwork and stuff here. And running out to the right here. Some nice old timber sets there. Tree-sized timbers back here. And wow, it's got another big chamber. There's like a big winds here. Yeah, that is big, ugly looking winds. And you see they cleared out quite the chamber here.
The hoisting works right there.
Yeah, the hoisting works down below
There's
it.
the sheaf.
So there's that stope, or we assume it's a stope. May have had somebody at the hoisting works. Assume it's a stope. And then here's the frame for the, or the hoist, I should say, for the winds. You see the sheath wheel. Cable spool. There would have been a hopper back here somewhere.
Probably where the winch was over there. Yeah, I'd say the winch was on the right.
That's actually not that steep of a,
No, not this one.
yeah, it's a pretty shallow incline.
We've been running.
You could have walked down that one if you wanted to.
Okay, you can, there it is. In the water, you can actually still see the rail sitting on top of those like 10 by 10s.
Oh yeah, way down there.
There it is, right there.
I don't know if you guys can see that at home, but
There it is.
yeah, you can actually see the rail down there.
And there's a timberland across the drift, but there's the rail sitting right on top of this.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you kind of angled it.
Rotten wood, low oxygen. No surprise.
But look at the, you can see, there's a vein right there doing something there, and there's a fault. And then you got all these little stringers running up there, and look at that. It's actually a raise. It goes way up there.
Oh yeah, it is a raise. That's
Yeah,
not
look at that.
yeah.
You just kind of, and then of course it looks like the big block. or something.
They were following the vein and fall up there. You can see there.
Smell it? Yeah. That's decomposing the wood.
Looking over that frame. Sure, there would have been a hopper up there too, right?
There was a hopper here. You see the tracks right under your feet.
Yeah.
So they rolled the cars right underneath that thing.
Yeah, gotcha. Just like the other one.
Side, the other side's over there.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like it may have face planted.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. See, look at that. Oh man. Yeah, it is way up there.
Looking up that raise right there. I originally thought it was a stove. That's a raise.
It's a rotary vane. Basically a shaft with these like fiber veins in it. As the air hits it, they spin the motor into the gearbox.
Huh.
And then that's a double drum slusher right there.
Right. And you're saying that this foot
And
pedal
that
up
was
there.
actually, the foot pedal would open and close the air valve. It's kind of nice, 'cause as soon as you take your foot off, the machine's gonna stop.
Yeah, yeah, that's a useful mechanism. There was that massive blob of a quartz vein back there, and now you can see that,
Where do we come over here?
yeah, just kind of petered out over here.
20, 30 feet? And then look at this. literally inches wide.
Yeah, it was huge back there where that first head frame was, and now it's just a few inches wide. A few inches wide, and it looks like it just peters out to nothing over there. Because looking down this other drift, there's no sign of a vein at all. Just goes to nothing. That's that chamber we just checked out, and I've been informed that we do in fact have time to shoot down this left branch. So let's do that. Like I said, you see that vein just disappears, and I don't see any sign of it here. This is older workings, I believe, just because it's much lower. We're all fenced down now. Tiny little bit of quartz here, but nothing significant. All right, looks like this gets a bit messy, it appears. Maybe some stopes or ground fall, or hard to say so far. There's a raise or a stope right there. See some quartz here, so no surprise they chased it back that way. We'll check that out later. For now, yeah, this leads up to a stope. You can see the remains of the ore chute there.
See here? Now, there's a raise.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you had a manway
Yeah, manway on
one
the
side.
yeah,
And you had
the ore chute on the other.
more passage on this side here.
Huh.
You had just enough boards to keep the material from getting
Sliding down, yeah.
Yeah.
Quartz boulder right there. There's some gobbing on the right. Little rock stacked up here. Another winds here on the left. That looks kind of mucked in. I can see some timbers down there too, leading off. Huh. A little bit of quartz here. And, oh man.
Hang on to your boots.
Yeah, that gets muddy.
Do not go left. Stay in the track.
Yeah,
Stay
trying to do that.
Yeah. Because I almost lost one last week.
Yeah, I just almost lost one now. Got a stope on the right here, and I can stand up.
Stay on near the rail.
So it keeps running that way. See some quartz running up here into, oh, that's a decent little raise.
Look at that hanging right there. Right behind that stone.
Yeah, he's talking about that quartz boulder right there is waiting to come down.
See, that was a hopper. Right there. Right in each scan.
Got the remains of a hopper here in front of us. He's talking about. And here's some water dripping down ahead. And not too surprising how muddy it is. And it definitely is muggy back here. See another stope of rays on the right here. Running down. Look at all that mineralization there. And it's looking up there. You see the ore chute here on the right, or the remains of the ore chute. All that mineralization in front of us. And haul out, it keeps running back this way.
You're almost there.
Almost to the end. Hold.
There's the river.
What's that?
Listen.
Oh, I hear a lot of rushing water up ahead. Yeah, it's just,
Don't go left.
no, I almost slipped down there. Even going left is hard. Got sucking mud here, which makes it hard to walk. Looks like we got a pile of dirt there on the left. Going left or right? To the left here. Oh, it's just ends right here, isn't it? Okay, yeah, just a raise right here. See some stuff that's come down. Looks like somebody sampled that dirt.
Look at the longboard.
Oh, wow. That is cool. Yeah,
That's your other set of wheels.
that's really neat.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
I didn't know we had skateboarders down here. Right?
That's cool. And then, as I was saying, I've got this raise behind us.
That's a timber dog.
Timber dog? Is
See that?
that what it's called?
This little piece of steel?
Yeah, it's called timber
Yeah.
dog?
There's points on either end. You hammer it into the lumber to help drag them and move them around.
Ah,
Yep.
the timber dog. And looking up the raise,
Oh, yeah.
or stopes.
See, it's old school. Look at the round timbers.
Yeah,
See, the last one had looked like 6x6s. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, a bunch of tree trunks up there.
And there's one over you. Yeah. You know, what, 1915?
Yeah, the graffiti said 1915, so this would seem to date to that vintage. And of course, we came in from there. So see what that rushing water is all about. We just came from that chamber there. Now we're headed towards, sounds like a waterfall up here. And the sucking mud is doing its job. Wow. So, obviously you see a lot of materials come down here. A lot of quartz in this gravel here. Oh yeah. Well, that's a little too narrow for anybody to squeeze through. But all that water is dropping down in this caved area here. That's looking up where all that water's coming from. Interesting. All right, that's the section that we just went down, and this is that crosscut we bypassed on the way. Probably recognize that quartz arch. So let's go check it out. Pretty muddy back in this one too. Not too much quartz, just little stringers along the side, you can see. And you were telling me about the wooden ventilation box.
Just followed up the edge.
That's the, he said, this is really, really old school here. They had wooden ventilation box. You can see the remains of it on the left there. One up here. Looks like it might get a bit more intact up here.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see it here. See how it's hollowed out?
4 sides.
Yeah, see all the, you can clearly see the 4 sides. Yeah.
Starting to. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's one side. See some more down here. There was a box. And in every seam, they used some type of, you know, it's hard to say if it was like putty or that glue when the box would come together.
Yeah. That's really neat. That's definitely old school.
There's some down here that's even better shape.
Yeah. Old stuff. Crosscut runs for a ways. You can tell it's old too because how small it is. Oh, there's a good example right there.
There it is, there it is. That's the piece I was referring to. Now you can see the junction where the two boxes came together and it was
Yeah.
completely enclosed.
Wow, that's really cool. There you go, yeah. Wooden ventilation box.
It didn't have steel pipe.
No steel pipes, just used the wooden ventilation box. That's really neat. I've seen that in a video. A buddy of mine is also into mine exploring. Mine's in the West. He had that in one of his videos, but I have not seen that elsewhere. That's really cool. So we'll just,
Can you explain this?
what's that?
Explain this. You know what that is?
I do not recognize that.
Yes,
What
you should.
what am I seeing there?
Stamp mill chute. It's
Okay,
actually,
that actually crossed my mind, but I thought there's no way it would be here.
it's actual stamp. The shaft, and the pin, and the tapered chute. Okay?
So what's it doing here?
$1 million question. Why would you haul something that
I was just
big?
gonna say, why the hell would you haul that down here?
Yeah.
Good echo in here, huh?
What echo? We
Quartz.
asked ourselves the same question.
Quartz stringer right there. See the ventilation box there, right or left, excuse me. And I think I may hit the end here. Stops there. Oh, keeps going this way. Runs back that way. I thought it stopped, but it runs back to the left. The shovel? Remains of the shovel?
Part of one.
Yep.
Looks like some
And
sort
look.
of,
So the ventilation, turn the corner.
And ran back this way. Pretty bad ground back there. Did you go back there? Yeah.
Away.
So we're heading down that left branch, and there's no vein action back here. So this must have all been exploratory in nature. Sorry, I'm stumbling around the background. I can see why I didn't like the air back here.
Yeah.
See all this stuff is sloughed off the sides. This nasty stuff. Bad ground. Fracturing off the ribs. Alright, I pulled my light out on the cord. Continue on. Throw out the ventilation box on the side. Old can right there. Keeps running back. They didn't pull anything of value out of here, did they?
No.
Really bad ground back here. See these slabs breaking off there. And right there. And just bad ground all through here. Just keep running back. Looks like there might be the end here, although I did say that before. Okay, they just ran a little mini crosscut back there and stopped. I thought might be a tamping stick or something. And ran back here Oh, I thought they stopped, but that's just ground fall. That is bad ground. That's the mess we just scrambled over. And of course we were very careful not to touch the rib or anything, or the back, because that was some sketchiness. So he keeps carrying on this way. Another little exploratory push there that obviously didn't lead to anything. We do have a couple in here, which is good. Is that the end up there?
All your ventilation goes. All in below there.
All the ventilation. That's it. End of the line. See the remains of those sides of the ventilation box right there. Good stuff.
The whole issue. Why'd they drive this crosscut? They were looking for the vein, and they never did find that quartz vein they were looking for. I mean, if not hundreds of feet, then a lot more than that.
Yeah, and they were doing this by hand, just to
Yeah.
reiterate for people.
Wood track.
Yes. I think we walked over it, but if you look carefully, there was wood rail,
Yeah,
and then they put the steel strap over the top.
exactly, yeah.
If you see the wood.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it's this,
that's a lot of work.
Well, you gotta do this by
whole
hand?
thing's a lot of work. Well,
they weren't making any money either.
there's no vein system.
Yeah.
No vein system at all.
Yeah, you see where the wood, those wooden rails have rotted out there.
Wood right there. Right there on your left foot.
Sorry, didn't I hit you?
Right there.
Where you sit?
You can see the remnants of the wood.
Oh, yeah.
Pointing out. But see, it's just a trough now because it's completely dissolved. But I guarantee you, they pulled those steel straps out and used
for
it somewhere
sure.
else.
You're walking out and having to notice this, all this old safety piece right here. That has been there a while, to be sure.
That wasn't a cap. It looked like steel, but
Yeah,
it's not. It's not even steel. It's just old fuse.
just falls apart in your fingers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I wouldn't pick up an old.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an MSHA requirement. You have to do your monthly fire inspection, fire extinguisher inspections, and make sure they're properly charged and the fire extinguisher's in working order. And so every month you have to come in and you have to sign off. In this case, it's being underground. You use a nail or something and scratch it in there.
Yeah.
All right, paper would never last. So this one actually says 1997, 98, 99, and 2000. And so the last guy that signed off on the extinguisher was looks like a DM in November 1998 was the
Okay.
last time they
Interesting.
So that was the last time somebody was actually in here working and inspected the fire extinguisher.
Interesting. That was a 16 to 1 crew. So if anybody knows DM on 16 to 1 crew, that would probably be the last guy working down here.
Hey, it's 110.
Well, we went through that fast, didn't we? I remember it was 110 when we started.
Yeah, it was a wooden ore car.
All right, we blew by this on the way in, but this was a wooden ore cart, and you guys know how rare those are.
The steel plate,
Put on newer.
the steel plate at the bottom to not wear the wood out. Here's your frame and the back door.
We flop out there, yeah.
And then here's the locking mechanism that is underneath here. And here's the actual handle right here. That would lock the car in place. You kick the handle and it unlock the car. Swing the back door, unlock the back door, and out the side. So there's a frame there, and there's one more frame right there. And there it is. There's still a frame.
Yeah, you're right.
And those may or may not be the
Part of it?
original boards that were laid
Yeah.
down.
Very
And
cool.
I'm beginning to think maybe that wood flat we passed on the way in might actually
Might
be
have been a wooden ore cart,
the
yeah.
base for this, yeah.
This is that flat car we passed on the way in, but we're thinking now that this is actually the base for that wooden ore cart we saw.
Okay, so, look at that. So
That's
the frame-
wood, isn't it? Yeah.
The frame rails are actually wood, both of the axles.
Yeah.
And it might have been the actual base for that car, but they were using it as a utility or a flat car.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because you see that's modern. See, it's actually been welded. That's been stick welded.
Yeah.
Okay, so with one on each end. So
Miners.
looks like maybe they built it on top.
Yeah, miners are good at reusing and recycling, aren't they?